Right. Welcome in, everyone. We just healed up, and now we're gonna go get the cut ability. I did a little bit of stuff off screen. I sent all my Pokemon that I'm not going to use to Professor Oak. So we're limited down to our few Pokemon for the Nuzlocke, and I got rid of a bunch that we did technically get because we changed the rules a little bit to make it a little bit more challenging. So all I've got right now is my team. So hopefully we can do something. So we're like a 10-year-old kid who just broke in this guy's room and started rubbing the old man's back? That's... that doesn't seem great. Alright, teach us cut. The Pokemon animations. If you were to take this game and travel to an alternate dimension where Pokemon didn't exist, and show them this game, or really any Pokemon game, and ask them what they thought of it, after seeing those animations, they'd be like, wow, it's kind of a cool game, but they don't have a big budget, do they? And then you would tell them, well, you know, they're the biggest gaming company in the world with the biggest budget, and they would be completely mind blown by how terrible the animations are and how much Game Freak seems to hate their fans. And we start the day off by spilling coffee on me once again. I think by now I would learn to drink coffee properly. Oh, excuse me. Alright, let's get off this thing and go, I guess, beat the next gym, try and catch a Pokemon. Alright, what do we got? Cutscene? Yes, okay. The way he looks at it with concern, it makes you feel like, oops, I shouldn't have left that. Again, the animations are just so strange on this game. What was that interaction? What even is going on in this game? Alright, who are we up against next? What's the next gym? Is it the fighting gym? I really don't remember. What gym are we going up against? Not that I have much choice in my typing, because, you know. Oh, Lieutenant Surge. Oh, well, then this is not good at all. Psyduck will be useless. Charmander's underleveled. Q will be okay. Pikachu will be okay. I guess it's time. I kept one Pokemon that I didn't think we would use, but we captured it from Brock, so I figured we would keep him. But I guess it's time for you to shine, Onyx. Let's add you to the party. And let's go level up our Pokemon a little bit. Okay, let's go level up the Misfits that we have, because yeah. I do like the addition of, in the most recent Pokemon games, not having to teach the HM and TMs to your Pokemon and just being able to do it. Good morning, Swaddle, Dexter, both at the same time. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you guys doing today? Alright, that was a good amount of experience. That's what we're going to do now, is just level everything up a little bit. Maybe find something rare or good. Or a Rattata, I guess. Guess we can't be picky, we're just trying to level up a little bit. Watching the Pokemon World Champions? I've been watching a few guys on TikTok who were competitors in that at some point. It definitely seems way out of my league. The strategies they come up with and the ideas, how they put Pokemon together is so fascinating, how the champions are made for those. Doing well, can't complain. Baby kept you up all night? Well, I mean, perfectly balanced as all things should be, right? Baby let you sleep in yesterday, now it keeps you up all night tonight. Perfectly balanced. A huge Rattata. True. Why is it not throwing? There we go. Come on. The meta is crazy. I wish I watched more when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was the newest game. The metas are crazy, and like when people come in and break the metas, like I cannot imagine. Could you imagine being the first person to have like the fear tactic work against you, the Focus Sash, Endeavor, and the Quick Attack or whatever it's called? Like, could you imagine being there when that was conceived and losing a world championship to this like mind-blowing idea you'd never seen before? Like, I couldn't even comprehend that. Wish I could have seen Mega Z moves, etc. Are the world champions fun to watch? I love Pokemon, but I don't know if it's interesting enough to watch. You know, that's how I felt the longest time about like Twitch and streamers. Was like, well, yeah, I like Pokemon, but why would I watch someone play Pokemon when I could play Pokemon, right? Like, it never made sense to me, and yet here I am a few years later playing Pokemon with people watching me play Pokemon. Like, oh, the places you'll go. We should do a run where all you can use is tackle. A tackle run. If I could get some good physical attacking Pokemon, I think that'd be doable. I had the same feelings that I got lonely. I mean, that's what it really is about, right? Like, if you think it's just about the gaming, then you're missing the point. Like, of course, you can watch anyone play a game, or you can go play a game yourself. It's about the community, camaraderie, hanging out with people. Like, it's an entertainment job. My job is to sit here and entertain you guys, right? So it's a little bit more complicated than I originally thought, but I still enjoy it all the same. I think that's what a lot of people miss out on when... Because right now, everyone wants to be a streamer or a content creator, right? Like, that's the dream job. Something like... Someone posted a statistic that, like, when they asked kids 5th grade and under what they wanted to be when they grew up, like, 70% of answers was they wanted to be a content creator or they wanted to be a streamer. Because you see all the glory of it, but you don't realize, you know, the work that goes into it and all that, so... It's a glamorized job right now, but eventually it will pass, I'm sure. There's some Scarlet and Violet news coming out today? Really? Ooh. There we go. And like they were, someone was doing like an exposing piece on like the conditions in China where they have like just factories where they produce streamers. So they just have tons and tons of people set up in these little cubicles that are all constantly streaming and doing all that. And it's just the lengths people go to. It better be about Eevee. Give us that new Eevee form. Give us our Ghost Eevee or our Steel Eevee. You know what would be interesting if they did with a Steel Eevee? Because, like, Blastoise is one of the few Pokemon that had, like, the cannons. Like, he's got guns, basically, on him. It'd be cool if they did that again. Brought back, like, made Steel Eevee, but with a gun. It's like that game Squirrel with a gun, but instead it's, Eevee with a gun. I'd play that. I truly feel like there's going to be new evolutions. Never had that feeling before. Oh, they're going to. People are going to riot if there's no new evolutions. They have set the bar, and they need to deliver now. Bring on day. Oh, we finally evolved our Oddish. Look at that. I did not think Oddish would make it that far. We got a Gloom. I don't think that really does much for us, but we got a Gloom. The person in the trailer had an Eevee backpack that had features like an Altaria and red and blue hair, which are dragon-type colors. Ooh. A dragon Eevee. I think I'd be okay with that. I know this is going to be like super unpopular opinion, but dragon types aren't really my favorite. Like, the only dragon type I can think of off the top of my head that I like is the ghost dragon Dreepy. And I mean, let's face it, he's basically a legendary, so he's almost overpowered. That's what I'm saying. I know it's unpopular, but I don't really like a whole lot of the dragon types. Like, Gyarados is cool, but I don't really like his design all that much either. And then, like, I can't even think of most of the dragon types off my head. I think, is Dragonair technically a dragon type? I do like Dragonair. And Dragonite. Rock or Steel? I'm hoping for Steel. Steel, Poison, or Ghost. Those are the top three for me that I would love. But I love Steel types too, so... Yeah, so Dragonair, see, there's one I like. They're your favorite types. tell you though, so what I want to talk about today that was on my mind from yesterday, but first I will give trigger warning. I'm going to talk a little bit about death and funerals. So if you're not about those, this is your warning. I'll give you a chance to fast forward, to leave, to do whatever you need to do. With that out of the way, so yesterday I found out, well, I was told technically before, but I'd forgotten, so I kind of got last minute notice that, yesterday was the memorial service for my great uncle who passed away. And I didn't know him super well, unfortunately. I knew that he loved Scotland, I knew that he loved kilts, I knew that he was a golfer and an avid outdoorsman, but I didn't know him super well, so it wasn't like a heavy grieving sort of thing. I was there to support my family and pay my respects, do my due diligence. But I listened to his funeral, and I haven't been to many funerals. I have not been to many funerals in my life. I've been very lucky and blessed that my family has lived long and healthy. But they talked so much about his work, and I gotta say, it kind of hit me, because I'm a little bit of a workaholic. If you ask Demi, that's one of my major problems, is I like to work too much. I'm always working. And you're taking the guy was 69, 70 years old, so 70 years of life, and condensing it down into a 30, 45-minute memorial. It's hard. There's not a lot of room. But they talked so much about his work, and I just... I don't work because I enjoy it, right? I work because I have to. I've got a family to feed. I've got, bills to pay. I've got all that sort of thing. So it seemed kind of strange to me to talk about someone's work at their funeral. Like, if I wanted someone to talk about me or remember me if I passed away, I wouldn't want them to remember, oh, he worked for that bank for 13 years, right? Like... That's not who I am. That's not important to me. That's not what I want anyone to remember, right? I did it because I needed to pay bills. I didn't do it because I loved it. I didn't do it because I had a passion for it. I did it because you have to work, right? And it just, like, I would want people to talk about how much I loved God, or brought people to God, how much I loved my wife, how much adventures I did with my wife. Our podcast that we did together, all the traveling and road trips we did together, all the ghost hunting we did together. Talk about that, or my photography. I love being a photographer. Talk about that. Like, it really hit me hard that I realized I work so much, and for what? That's not to be pessimistic, but what does it matter? You're working to pay bills, but it doesn't do anything else for you. And if that's all people remember you for, and even that, like, that goes into the whole, being Catholic. I believe in the afterlife, and we get to heaven, and the purpose of Earth is to prepare you for heaven, right? So Earth does have a purpose to prepare you to get into heaven, to prepare you, to spend all eternity with God. So that's good that it's here, but working is only a small part of that. So does it really matter if you worked that extra overtime? Does it really matter if you were a good employee who always showed up every single day? And then going beyond that, does most of it matter? The only thing that truly seems like it should is your time with your loved ones and doing things that you enjoy, right? Maybe it's just an American thing, because, like, we've talked about this before, but in America, when you meet someone, one of the first questions you ask someone when you're first meeting them is like, oh, well, what do you do for a living? And we talk about our work, because we're just so ingrained that, especially people who have to work 2 or 3 jobs now, you're spending 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week working. You're defined by what you do. And so I have resolved to never answer that question again as, oh, what do you do? I am never going to answer, well, I'm a banker, or, this is the company I work for. I have resolved to answer that question with, I'm a Catholic, or I'm a photographer, or I'm a ghost hunter with my wife. Things that I care about, things that matter to me, things that are important to me. because I'm so much more than my job. And like there were so many other things. I don't want to, you don't speak ill of the dead. I understand that, but can you speak ill of a funeral? Like they talked about his medical conditions. Like they legitimately brought up like, oh well, we can't talk about your great uncle without talking about his medical conditions and his disabilities and his ailments. But why? Why do any of us need to know any of that information? What difference does any of that make? Like, is that really something you need to talk about? Like, I'm not my illnesses. Yes, I had a hernia for a long time, and that hernia helped to shape who I am and how I experience the world and all that. But is that really something you announce at a funeral? Like, I just, it didn't sit right with me. It just really didn't sit right with me at all. So the whole thing was a little bit of a strange experience, and maybe I just haven't been to enough funerals, which again, I'm blessed to have not had to go to a whole lot of funerals, but maybe that's what they're like. Is that what funerals are like? Have you guys been to some? Is that just standard for the course? You talk about work and talk about their illnesses and... I gotta tell you, the other thing that the funeral director did that it rubbed me the wrong way was he was talking about having an attitude of gratitude, and the way he said it, like, I want you to leave here with an attitude of gratitude. Like, am I at a conference for work? Like, are you a hype man? Like, what is this attitude of gratitude thing? Like, it felt so inappropriate. And he said it like 20 times, like every other sentence was, and here's reason number 2, that you need to leave with an attitude of gratitude. Like, dude, come on. Someone's died here. Like, let's have a little reverence and respect. Like, you can definitely talk about being grateful for the time that you've spent with this person, or being grateful for the memories that they've left with you, and grateful for all that they've done for you. 100%. Let's talk about that. But don't sit there and be like, the attitude of gratitude. Like, just, again, maybe I'm just being way too sensitive, or I haven't had enough experience. It's normal when people don't quite know what to say. And that was definitely something that Emmy brought up, because I was talking to her about it, because I was so blown away by it. She's like, well, if people didn't bring forth a lot of information, then, sometimes they just got to kind of make do with what they got, which I understand, if especially when it's like a funeral for someone who doesn't have a lot of family, or, family didn't show up and didn't work. You've got nothing to work with. But, like, if that's the case, if this guy just didn't have a whole lot to work with, then he definitely stretched it out and made it work. But that, and like, at one point he was like, I did research. This gentleman was 69 years old, which is 365,000 hours he was on this earth. And if we go a little bit deeper, what does that really mean? Well, that's really 1,500,000 moments that he spent on Earth, and all those were spent with. He was like, are we in a math problem, or are we a funeral? Why are we breaking down how many hours are in a day in a year? Like, I feel like I'm being way too critical of the funeral, but it felt so weird, so out of place. And then they played some music, and this is going to be the last thing that I criticize, but again, I just can't help but being a little critical. So my great uncle who passed away apparently was a big lover of rock, so they played Queen and the Grateful Dead. No problems there. If that's what he loved, then play it. Great. But they chose the live versions of the songs, so they start the songs out with the crowd cheering and screaming and sitting in a funeral chapel with people crying while they're playing music where they're screaming and cheering for the people on stage. Like that, why would you choose the live versions of songs? That just seemed like such a weird choice. You're giving that funeral a scathing Yelp review? I mean, I don't want to be a jerk, but if that was my funeral, I'd be very, very upset. I'd want my money back. Like, don't tell people I had diseases. play live versions of songs where you hear people cheering as they're lowering me into my grave? Like, come on. This is amateur hour? It's going to be a weird thing to say, but I hope the next one that I do have to attend is a little more solemn, a little more respectful. It does sound like a bizarre funeral, right? Like, thank you. I felt like I was going crazy being the only person there. Like, please tell me they didn't play the music at the burial. It wasn't at the burial. It was a memorial. So I believe he was already buried, and we were just like in the building where we were just having the memorial of life. So I believe he had already been buried at that point, but it's still, again, the live versions of the song. Why would you ever? What goes through your head that says, what this somber memorial needs is some guy with a lighter going, "Freebird! Yeah, play Freebird!" Like, I can't. I can't. Could you imagine the cheering as they're lowering the casket? No, that's exactly my point. Was like it was a strange choice. I hate to be that guy, but if they played the live version during the burial, I would have laughed. I would have too, but not like, it's just the absurdity of the situation, right? Like, it's not what you would expect. It's just so absolutely absurd and outlandish that you can't help but laugh, because what else do you do in that situation, right? And like, I didn't want to just get up and leave, right? You can't just be like, you know what? This memorial isn't great, so bye. Like, you can't just get up and leave, so you just kind of sit there and, yep, this is a memorial. So I'm glad you guys agree that was a little bizarre, a little strange, a little out of the ordinary, because that makes me feel a little better that I wasn't just being such a judgy jerk of this guy's work. And he said he'd been a funeral chaplain for 10-15 years, so I have to assume that he's got some talent in the industry to have been in it for that long, but I don't know. They did do he did serve in the Navy, so they did bring in some Navy, I'm not sure what you call them, Navy corpsmen, to play taps and do the final presentation of the flag, and that was good. I mean, that was spot on. They did a very good job. It's amazing watching anyone in the service, whether it be a Marine, Navy, Army funeral, where they do the final inspection, where they walk very stiff and it's very planned. They take 3 steps, pick up the flag, turn on your right heel, present the flag, take 1 step forward, salute the flag. Like, it's very methodical, and that's incredible to watch the detail, and that felt like the most respectful and part of the entire thing. But if nothing else, it definitely gave me some resolve to ensure that going forward, I focus less on work and focus more on what matters in life. My grandfather had that at his funeral. It's an incredible thing to see, and they more than earned it. So, come on, Psyduck. My grandmother laughed as they did it and was giggling when they handed her the flag. I mean, grief does strange things to people, right? Like, you're never surprised at what happens at funerals, because sometimes all you gotta do is laugh, right? Some people, that's their natural response to sort of things. Like, when I get hit, when I hurt, laughter is kind of my release for getting hurt. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. That's just kind of how people react to those sort of things, right? Alright, we should be leveled up enough to take on Surge. Let's let's get rid of some of these excess Pokemon, bring in our candies, and then take on Surge. I'm not going to be able to use Psyduck like at all, so my team's going to be a little weak, but I think we got this. No rare candies? Come on, Professor. Give me some rare candies. Bump up Onix a little bit. Wow, look at that attack. 21 attack. That is just awful work, Onix. Terrible. Terrible stats. Absolutely terrible. Alright. We're going to open with Pikachu. Be a little Lightning Rod Pikachu, and we'll attack with some normal attacks and such. Yeah. Good strategy. How is a serpent made of boulders so weak, right? Like, I guess if you use moves that you account for his weight, he wouldn't be so terrible, but like, Onix needs something. Even Steelix isn't that great, right? Like, what are they doing? And again, it goes back to, like, I get that there's 600, 700, 800 Pokemon, so they can't make every single Pokemon good, but I guess you gotta have filler tier, low tier Pokemon to fill in the blanks. If you explode on me and destroy my Pikachu, I'm gonna be super upset. Some Pokemon not being good just doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. Maybe Onix is made out of a weak type of rock. You know, that would be a really cool thing for them to do if they did like different versions of Onix. So you caught like, you know, an Obsidian Onix that has super high attack but super low defense, for example. That would be a really cool little gimmick. Sometimes I wish the training was a little bit more intensive in the game, because I know you can IV train Pokemon and do that sort of thing. And like Legend Arceus, they did like, you can do the gravel to up certain stats. But if you ever played Monster Rancher back in the day, where you like train very certain stats and very certain abilities and moves and stuff, I kind of wish we would do that a little bit more. Golden Eagle, welcome in. It's Team Rocket Nuzlocke. So we're doing a little bit of a variation on your standard Nuzlocke. Rather than just catching the first Pokemon that we see, we defeat all the trainers along our route, and then we act as Team Rocket and steal one of the Pokemon that we fought from one of the trainers. So I think it's kind of a cool little variation on the Nuzlocke challenge. So far it's been pretty fun. We're going to steal one of Lieutenant Surge's Pokemon, and then probably never use it because we have Pikachu. But, you know, just in case Pikachu ever gets taken down, it's good to have a electric-type Pokemon, I guess. Alright, we got one more trainer, and then we've got to solve Lieutenant Surge's dastardly puzzle. But it looks like they took all the challenge out of the puzzling, because it looks like they made the trash cans with the switches on it a little bit different. Granted, like, I get that it wasn't much of a puzzle because you just, walk up and click it anyways, but like, they took it all out. You want to sub but you're broke? It's okay. I definitely understand. No need to sub. Use your money on things that are more important. Food, video games, gas, all that. I appreciate the thought, though. Imagine one of the gym challenges being solved for X. Now that would be mean. Put the quadratic formula in the game and you have to break it down. Solve long division. That's actually not a bad idea for a game. They had what was it, like typing of the dead that taught you how to type. You shot the zombies by spelling different words and things like that. Maybe we can help people's grammar and spelling and math skills by making a game where you have to be able to do those to get better at it. Final one has a quadratic formula. No one needs water or power in their house. I know many a people who would disagree with that. I'm one of those included. I need the AC on right now because it is hot. Okay. Blue trash can. Red trash can. Are they not doing anything? Did it still just go back and... Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe we have to just go search all these for switches. Or... There we go. Okay. Well then I guess I was complaining for nothing. It doesn't look like they color-coded it and made it any easier, so... That's my bad. Again, not that this is hard at all. I think my stream locked up. My chat seems to have stopped working here. Let me see if I can fix that. Well, now my game is locked up. Well, no. My stream is locked up. I can't see anything on my stream, but I can still see the game going. Let's see if this will resolve itself. Maybe? Now it's the wrong color. Something always goes wrong when you're streaming, right? We've talked about this a million times, that something always seems to go wrong when you're trying to stream. It hurts my eyes, but I can see. So I will suffer for the art. Alright, level 25 Volt Orb. Just don't self-destruct. That's all we're asking. Don't self-destruct on me and ruin my Pikachu. I guess I should have healed before this fight. Kind of cocky to go into it with a wounded Pokemon, but here we are. Alright, Pikachu. I think you can take this one down, because you're super effective against it. Oh, good dodge. Okay. And then we might need to swap out for the next Pokemon. Because his final is Raichu, right? There should be a pepper emote? Not a bad idea. Maybe when I get some more emote slots. I haven't unlocked emote slots in a while, so... maybe when I get some more emote slots. Alright, let's give Psyduck Fury Swipes, I guess. Why not? Alright, the Raichu. Shouldn't one-shot me. Alright. That's all Raichu can, or Pikachu can take for now. Let's have Gloom finish the fight. Come on, Gloom, don't let me down. It isn't that hard, sarcasm. Usually it's not, but in a Nuzlocke where you're going to lose some people, sometimes it's good to play defensively. I have learned that through many losses, because I have lost many a game to playing aggressively and poorly, so... Alright. Gloom. I don't know if Gloom can take another hit, and I don't know if it's worth risking. Onix. Go in there. And let's just run him down on poison. Hopefully. Yeah. Then hit him with a rock. Good tactic. Good strategy. Onix with 1 HP. That was totally planned. Totally planned to survive with 1 HP. Yes. Master strategy right there. Way to go, Onix. You earned your keep. Don't learn Screech. I don't think you're going to learn anything, Onix, because I don't probably think I'll ever use you again, but way to earn your keep. Also, did they nerf Lieutenant Surge? Didn't he used to be like a 6'6", like huge dude? Why is he so small? Adding to Swaddle, add an extra 1 at the end of every single formula, and... I'm not sure if I'm getting everyone's messages. It's, my thing is not working very well here right now, so I might have to end here, to be honest, because I can't control my stream anymore. Surge was like 8 foot tall. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He used to be huge. I think they kind of nerfed Surge. Alright, let me see if I can fix this really quick, because I can barely see and things are going wacky on my end for my stream, so if it randomly dies, that's why. Yeah, the TTS isn't working. A whole parts of it just kind of went wonky here, so I'm looking to see if I can fix things, but I don't know. I don't know if I can get it working here. Let's see. Oh, there goes my camera. That's progress, I think. Maybe not.